Welcome to another edition of Digital Marketing 101. I am Solomon Timothy. I want to help you answer questions like this one and any other questions that you have as it pertains to digital marketing. So send in those questions, but first, today's question is, should you create a device-specific PPC campaign? First of all, this is an amazing question. This is someone who's actually running ads and they're going through all the options. They're excited and they're like, man, there's all these options. So we're picking the device, mobile, desktop. What should I do, right? That is the question. Should I do it? Should I not? So I want to give you some light into this and how to think about different devices when it comes to PPC campaigns. First of all, know that everything is extremely mobile driven. Mobile traffic, mobile site, mobile experience, mobile payments, everything is mobile centric. First and foremost, the way that you're gonna win in terms of getting the lowest cost per click and the highest engagement is how well your campaign performs on a mobile device. So if you don't have an amazing mobile experience, just remember that you're gonna pay more, you're gonna have less engagement, and overall ad rank is gonna go down. Everything is mobile first. So the way to think about having different campaigns for different devices, I would say it's primarily dependent on the budget. If you don't have enough budget to have separate campaigns, how are you ever gonna know if mobile had 2x the conversions? You really can't without having sufficient budget. So if you're running a very low budget campaign, it may not make sense to create all this structure. The typical way to scale a campaign is as you're spending more, start dividing up things into different campaigns, different devices maybe, or different categories, different products. It would make sense as you're scaling up the campaign and the spend, you want to go more granular so you can turn things on and turn it off and adjust the settings at a campaign level, all right? So if you're going to go through the pain of doing this, make sure you have sufficient budget for each of these devices. So let's talk about conversions as we were just touching on the 2x and 3x. So typically, a lot of times, a lot of campaigns, now I'm just telling you the facts and looking at campaigns all day, you probably have a lot more clicks on a mobile and more conversions on a desktop, but desktop actually gets less clicks. If you look at site-wide conversions, there might still be a lot more conversions on desktop than it is mobile. So the way that I treat it, especially for mobile traffic or tablet traffic, is many times people use that to discover a product or service, right? They're searching for it, they're clicking on things, they're just bouncing off of pages, quickly closing tabs. It's just very easy, right? It's second nature to us at this point. And when they make a decision to buy, they might make the decision, but just going through the process of filling out a form or something is not as useful, it's not as easy on a mobile device right there and then. They put it off for desktop, or they might send a note to someone else and they would convert for you on a desktop, right? Many times buying decisions, going through the entire e-commerce is very difficult on a mobile for some sites. And so people would say, you know what, when I jump on the desktop or my laptop, just bust it open and make that transaction. But things like Apple Pay and mobile payments and things like that are making it a lot easier, and all those websites that are super easy to make a purchase, it would autofill everything for you, Face ID, that is going to be way more easier and for conversions. But many sites aren't as easy. So if you're looking at conversions as you're trying to decide mobile specific campaigns, just want you to know that many times mobile is where you're going to get the most engagement, most traffic. And if the conversions are not quite there, it doesn't mean that people don't convert. It means that they're using that as a discovery tool and making a note for themselves, sending them an email. They're going to jump on desktop where you may or may not have the tracking data, the UTM information for you to actually identify origin of that traffic is. So don't lose hope when you're not seeing the conversion data to correlate with the traffic data. Campaign specific to each device is a great idea if you have substantial budget and you really want to create granularity in your account and just being able to see things clearly. Everything is labeled properly and you know that you can uncheck things and that's good forever. And also figuring out what keywords you want to bid on mobile versus desktop. All kinds of things are possible when you're actually splitting up the campaign. So the big picture is it a yes? Is it a no? The answer is yes, but it depends on a couple of factors Do you have enough conversions coming from it? Is it worthwhile? Do you have the bandwidth to manage all these campaigns at the same time and adjust the bids and budgets and everything else? So if that's you, then the answer is yes, go ahead, you should. But if you think that's too much work for you, it may not make sense because you just don't have substantial conversions or budgets on a monthly basis, all right? So if you enjoyed this question, feel free to ask us more. We love getting all kinds of questions from our audience. If you have any comments, leave it in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Please share with a friend that needed to see this. Consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.